Hey friends, welcome back. I'm Lindsay, and in today's video, we're gonna walk through another Architectural Digest home tour and see if we can pick up any ideas to apply to our own homes.
I'm Taylor Hill, and welcome to my home.
I've picked a pretty interesting one, I think, today, especially for those of you who've been asking for ideas to update a farmhouse decor style. This one is Taylor Hill's home tour. She's a model. Honestly, I wasn't familiar with her before this. I had to do a little bit of research. She's 25. She's been a Victoria's Secret angel since 2015, although I think those girls are getting other jobs now. She lives in Nashville, and apparently, according to the description on this video, she was looking for her first Manhattan apartment. Makes sense for a model, I suppose. She took a trip to Nashville, absolutely fell in love with it, and had to buy a home there, which is a lovely story about this home. It's a log cabin, so I'm very interested to see what the decor style is like. Built in 1936 by Hart Freeland Roberts, the architectural firm responsible for renovating iconic local buildings in Nashville like the Ryman Auditorium and the Parthenon, if you're familiar. I've never been to Nashville, but I'd love to go. It's a 4-bedroom home. It sits back from the street on a lush, tree-filled 1.29 acre corner lot. All right, here we go.
Hi, AG. I'm Taylor Hill. Welcome to my home. Come on.
Oh, she's cute. I love her dress. Oh, this is definitely a rustic home. Oh my gosh, vintage rugs, stained glass, cute dog. Okay, this is gonna be a good one, you guys. Hydrangeas.
This is my house here in Nashville.
Pause. This is definitely a log cabin. I'm very excited for her to explain the origins of this property and how she found it. I am loving the brick. Travis and I are working on integrating a lot of salvaged brick into our backyard, front yard, and this is great inspo. I'm also loving the trees, the very just sort of luscious cottagecore vibe. They're not perfectly trimmed shrubbery. I just like how wild it is.
I have been living here for almost 3 years. I looked and looked and looked. I must have looked at 50 houses, and then I stumbled across this log cabin, and I basically fell in love at first sight. I walked in the front door and said, this is home. This is where I'm meant to be.
It would be my wish that everyone could feel that way about their home. No matter what the price tag is, if you're a wealthy model buying a big home or renting your first place on your own, every person should get to feel that you're in the right place, a place that serves you and inspires you. It's more than decor. I could wax on this all day. Let's get back into the video.
Here in my living room, I was very inspired by Ralph Lauren and his home in Telluride. I fell into a deep dark hole on the internet to find shearling chairs, but I finally found these chairs, which I love so much. And then I have all these beautiful rugs that I'm obsessed with. That's where I started, was on the floor with the rugs, and then built up from there.
We've got to roll back just a little bit on the chairs. Shearling, boucle, Sherpa fabrics are so popular right now. A lot of different designers across design styles are using them. Definitely picking up the Ralph Lauren vibes. She found a property that she was truly inspired by, Ralph Lauren's Telluride home. I will link below some photos or an article or a video and design her home off of that, which is pretty cool. I always do recommend that. If you really do want to try to figure out your design style, find one great photo or one great home or one great designer that you're inspired by. Try to use that to filter what you bring into your space.
On it, but I finally found
the leather detail is so interesting.
And then I have all these beautiful rugs.
The vintage rugs,
all my house.
I could go on and on about. That is such a beautiful detail. It adds so much more character into this home, and it really supports this design style. You can find a ton of these vintage rugs from all over the world on Etsy. I have sourced several for our home, which I'll be sharing in an upcoming video.
That's where I started, was on the floor with the rugs, and then built up from there.
That's a really great question. I want to know from you, where do you start with your design? Taylor's saying she starts with rugs and works her way up, which is a great way to start because a rug is a great foundation for this space. But I usually start with the art piece and then work around that. So let me know in the comments, what's your first step in the design process?
This is my mom's. She's had this for longer than I've been alive. It's been in every house she's ever had. She was like, I have nowhere to put this. And I was like, well, I have a house now. I'm a homeowner.
I love the integration of a family heirloom, something that's been in every home her mother's ever lived in.
So there is a church pew over there in the corner. That is from the Nashville flea market. People use it to take off their shoes or put on their shoes, tape My dog here loves to lay here. This I found at a local antique store called Gaslamp. I love it in there. I saw this painting. I really felt like this was one of the most Tennessee things I had ever seen.
I love this art piece for her. It does kind of remind me of another family heirloom painting that I have, pastoral scene, but it really does. It feels like it really fits perfectly with this home. Also loving this very distressed, rustic, yet sort of elaborate mirror behind her. And you can see she's even got this sort of whitewashed frame. And it also kind of breaks up this very bold walls of the log cabin. Remember, art is so subjective. So, you know, just like Taylor said, find something that inspires you. It doesn't have to be difficult. Just follow your own eye. Don't worry about if it's cool or not. If it's cool to you, it's cool.
It was so serene and peaceful, and the colors and the cows. It reminded me of the first time I came here and really why I fell in love with Nashville. I use this room kind of as a calm space.
This room is so cozy. She's got a dark brown leather Chesterfield sofa. I don't know if you can see that here. It's in the foreground. Her two showstopper Sherpa chairs. I love the built-ins. I wonder if they're original to the house. They really feel like they could be. She's kept it very light and bright on the curtains, even painting this little blanket ladder white to make the space lighter and brighter. And then you've got this very bold stonework, which is incredible. If you have something like that in your home, do not rip it out. It is absolutely timeless and gorgeous. Even if you're not doing a rustic design, something like that can really punctuate a modern design too. This is a really lovely room from start to finish. It's not my personal style, just to be clear, but it doesn't have to be for me to appreciate it and grab some ideas from it.
This is my dining room. I love everything in this room. I picked out every single thing you see in this room, and it took me forever.
Good design takes some time to collect all these things, especially if you're hunting for vintage like Taylor is sharing here. She is definitely leaning hard on the traditional farmhouse, a little bit of rustic vibe. I'm loving this bold pedestal table. It's a good size round. You can get a lot of chairs around it. I love the simplicity of this chair collection. Although they don't all match, they coordinate really well. It's really nice how she went with a simple, lighter colored rug in this room. She's got a lot on the walls. It looks like blueprints of the home on the right. She's got cabinets in every corner with very bold blue and white vintage pottery. She's showcasing a lot of these metal tins and molds on the wall, plants in the corner. There's a lot going on here, but it still feels calm and simple because of that super simple muted pattern on the rug, as well as the white washed underside of that pedestal table. The brightness of the white walls and the soft white curtains also keep this a bright light space.
I love a round table, a big round table, so everybody can see everyone. Everybody's conversing and can talk to one another, and you're not leaning over someone to shout down the end of the table because I have such a big family.
She really values family. I love that about her. And I love these natural florals.
Finding a ginormous round table that was not too modern was impossible, literally impossible. I bought one table, and then the next day I found the actual table. So then I had to return the other table to get.
Oh my gosh, that's happened to me so many times.
The photos that you see on the wall are blueprints of this house from when it was originally built. When I found the blueprints, I was like, I know the perfect spot for them. So then I got the inspiration for the mixed matched chairs to all be blue. So
oh, I thought they were black. They're blue. Blueprints on the walls, blue furniture, blue and white pottery. I feel like a color really fits into a room when it's represented in 3 distinct places in a room.
These plates are my grandmother's, and these were in my house growing up. Everything kind of clicked because the blueprints and plates, it really feels like my home because I have pieces of my family watching over me. This is the second living room.
It's a lot. It seems like a room designed purely for comfort, which there is nothing wrong with, and I'm sure it is super comfy. It's just nothing I would do in design. What's interesting about this home, I wonder if it's because some of these rooms are so deep. It's obviously beautiful weather, it's bright outside, but the insides of these rooms are so dark. I don't know if that's like the 80 lighting team or just the way that Taylor designed her home, but if you look at the ceiling, like she hasn't put any can lights into this home at all, which would add a little bit more ambient light throughout the space. Personally, for for me, this massive sectional feels like a lot. It would be perfect for lounging, but just aesthetically for me, I just would never buy something like this. It's a very large room. I'd much prefer to break up the space with maybe a long, large sofa, or if you wanted to, one L-shaped sofa, and then on the other side doing maybe a love seat or a pair of chairs, or for that matter, one long sofa, a love seat, and two chairs. Add a little bit more brightness to the space, variety in textiles. I do love the drapery all the way around the room. I've done a similar thing in a room that had a lot of windows and it completely changed the space. One thing I was wondering about is why she hung the curtain rods so low. Generally speaking, I always advise to hang curtain rods as high as you can because it makes your room feel larger. If you take a look at this beam, obviously structural, it goes down to a lower clearance than the ceiling. This window was affected and it would look really weird if this one was lower and the rest were higher. I would agree with her on this. I would prefer them to be higher, but if she's wanting to include this window in it, which makes sense, then it makes sense to have them all a little bit lower to accommodate that beam. A little over the like H blanket thing, but I do really like this tufted, very traditional chair. This is screaming Ralph Lauren to me.
It is massive.
It's the biggest sofa I've ever seen.
This is like the hangout room and probably one of the most used rooms in the house. I really thought of it as the place where we would all gather, sit, have movie nights. This ginormous bookcase here, which I'm still working on filling.
Anybody else getting Cara Delevingne kitchen vibes? Actually, I'm going to retract that statement. Cara's blue is brighter versus Taylor's blue. I would say it's closer to a navy.
It is massive. You know, I've just got a bunch of stuff that I've kind of collected over the years from being here. I have the sink, so I have my bar here. I love elephants. You'll notice that I have elephants kind of all over the house. And I was at the flea market with my mom and we saw this guy that had a bunch of old trunks, hundreds of them. And my mom said it would be really
vintage
cool
trunks
to
are
get
fun.
a bunch of trunks and kind of line them up under the windows. And it's storage, so I store a lot of my outdoor pillows inside of the trunks.
I think it's an interesting design choice and what a fun idea to be able to pick out a bunch of trunks. It just might be a little redundant for my taste, but I do love that they're functional. That is great.
The world's biggest couch in this room.
It feels like a leather cloud sofa.
Also, I'm very tall, so I wanted it to be very long.
Rug spotting, another beautiful vintage rug, just saying.
I had this gorgeous angel of a dog that just rips up couches. So I really wanted to find a couch that could take that. I got this from Restoration Hardware. I
Cloud
saw
sofa
it and
in
I
leather.
was like, that's the perfect couch. It didn't look much different than this. There's a little more scratches on it because of, look at the camera. And
oh, look at that little guy.
all right, welcome to the upstairs.
So I'm gonna peg Taylor as rustic, cottagecore, a little farmhouse leaning at times, looking at this rocking chair on the right. She's got very, very cottagecore, simple, tiny florals, baby's breath. It's a key sign. Some of these vintage art pieces have 1800s kind of quality to them, especially the pastoral scenes with these barns and farm animals. I think that bed, it reminds me of one from the Novogratz collection that is super affordable. So I'll link it below if you like her bed. Hers is probably nicer, but that one is similar and cheaper.
I walked in here and immediately felt at home. The log walls, the low ceilings, it felt really cozy and homey. I chose the bed frame and the coloring because I found this rug at an auction.
Best rugs ever in this home. She's got beautiful rugs.
An iron bed frame is typical classic log cabin. I don't know what the word, maybe eclectic kind of take.
Her design style is definitely very eclectic.
Here we have also one of my favorite little corners.
Little Ralph Lauren club chair corner.
I went in to get my couch from Restoration Hardware and I saw these little teeny tiny bistro chairs and I was like, well, aren't those just adorable? Normally they kind of collect clothes. I cleaned for you guys today. Now I want to show you guys a very cool room in my house.
Oh my gosh, can we pause to appreciate the photos of her and her dog Tate? I mean, come on. Am I the only one with a little bit of a Tate obsession in this video? No? Okay. Oh, it's closet time.
Okay, here we are. This whole room is dedicated to my clothes.
There's a fireplace in her dressing room. The closet bars are not your typical closet bars. She's continued the rustic theme in here with these, it almost looks like found wood sticks. I don't know, like giant sticks. They're not logs. Hanging from the ceiling from these chains. This is a very unique way to convert a bedroom into a closet, and that fireplace is luxury.
I found this stained glass. I thought it would be a cool idea to hang them in the window so it kind of blocked people from looking in, but also did something kind of beautiful and didn't block a lot of light from coming in.
It's beautiful, and it really lovely coordinates with some of the colors in her wardrobe. There's a lot of colors in this stained glass. It almost looks like it was originally meant to hang horizontal just based on the symmetry of it, but I really love it this way too.
Because I still wanted it to feel really bright in here.
It's very bright.
I just quickly
very
wanted
much
to
a
show you
shade.
guys this fun little corner here. I have my denim bar set up.
This is a store. She has made a little boutique inside of her home.
Now I really want to show you guys probably one of the biggest reasons why I decided to buy this house. Voila! This copper tub is everything to me. I saw this and I thought, I need this in my life. It's humongous, it's deep, and I feel like I'm swimming in it.
Oh my gosh, her outdoor furniture is stunning.
Here we are in my backyard. Come on, bub. I absolutely fell in love with the outdoor space and the garden out here, which was something that was really important to me.
Again with brick on the patio. This is my dream for our house, so it's very inspiring. The outdoor styling is stunning. Loving these two matching sofas. Notice the caning on the side. They feel like Restoration Hardware again. I wonder where she found these. Look at the horizontal detailing here. I love the crisp white cushions. It brightens the space. I live for hydrangeas. Love all the kind of wild growing flowers around. What a beautiful place to hang out, isn't it?
Outdoor living room set up so I can come out here with friends and family. And then another huge selling factor for me for this house was the pool, which is a necessity here in Nashville. All right, that is my house. I hope you enjoyed. It was so nice to have you, but it's time for you to go. Y'all come back now.
Bye, Taylor. I am feeling so inspired by Taylor's design. She's got that sort of cottagecore rustic vibe. It fits the architecture of this home and really does help to showcase all of her favorite things from family heirlooms, antiques, flea market finds. I love how she put the needs of her family first and how she could be the best possible host. It really seemed like she designed every space around it, from the large round dining table so that no person would have to lean over to have a conversation with someone else, to all of the different little seating areas, the giant TV sofa, making sure that there is room for everybody who wants to come over and have a good time. If you are interested in Taylor's style, there's a lot of different ways that you can add this to your home, sourcing some rustic furniture pieces like a console table or a side table or stool. You'll notice she didn't do anything with over-the-top wallpaper or crazy textiles. She kept most of her spaces light and bright with white paint, dreamy, floaty white curtains, muted neutral tones, definitely leaning on colors that exist in nature. Thanks for watching this video all the way to the end. As always, these are my opinions, so don't forget to leave yours in the comments down below. Like and subscribe for more interior design and home decor tips. And next, I should have that big room reveal I've been promising for a minute. I've got a couple room makeovers like on the edge of being done, and I cannot wait to walk you through and show you all the cool things we've been doing in our space. Until then, you might enjoy my last AD home tour discussing Cara Delevingne's wild, magical maximalist home. I'll also link my own rental house tour in case you wanted to take a peek at my previous design style. I'm in the process of transitioning in our new home, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, my friends.